Welcome back to our channel. Imagine finding a penny in your pocket that could be worth up to $50 million. Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, today, we're diving into the fascinating story of the rare and valuable 1988 1-cent coin that has collectors buzzing. If you have one of these, you might just be sitting on a fortune. Stick around to the end to find out exactly what makes this coin so special, how to identify it, and how much it's truly worth. The Lincoln cent has been a staple of American currency since 1909, honoring the 16th president, Abraham Lincoln. The 1988 penny, however, is particularly interesting because of a rare error that has turned an otherwise common coin into a collector's dream. In 1988, the U.S. Mint produced billions of pennies across 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Most of these pennies are just regular coins, but a small number of them feature a very specific error that makes them incredibly valuable. So, what exactly makes this coin worth so much? It all comes down to a subtle but significant mistake: the 1988 Lincoln cent with the 1989 reverse, or RDV006 error. During the transition between 1988 and 1989, the U.S. Mint updated the reverse design of the penny, specifically the lettering of FG, the initials of designer Frank Gasparo, located near the Lincoln Memorial. Some 1988 pennies were accidentally struck with the 1989 reverse, and this small variation is what makes them extremely rare. This might not seem like a big deal, but in the world of coin collecting, these tiny details can mean the difference between a coin worth 1 cent and one worth millions. If you have a 1988 penny, here's how you can check if it's the rare variety that could make you rich. Look for a 1988 penny with a Denver, D, or Philadelphia, no mint mark, mint stamp. Flip it over and examine the FG initials near the Lincoln Memorial. If the G in FG is closer to the memorial and has a sharper design, you might have the rare error penny. This tiny detail is what separates an ordinary penny from a potentially life-changing treasure. Now, the million-dollar question: how much is this penny actually worth? Well, let's break it down. Regular 1988 pennies are worth just 1 cent. 1988 pennies with the 1989 reverse error? These have sold for thousands, and in top condition, experts believe one could fetch as much as $50 million if a perfect, mint condition version is found. In fact, some of these rare pennies have already sold for tens of thousands at auction. As more collectors hunt for them, the price is only going up. If you think you've found one of these rare pennies, what should you do next? First, get it authenticated by a professional coin grading service like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation. They will examine your coin, confirm if it's the rare variety, and assign it a grade based on its condition. The better the condition, the higher the value. Once authenticated, you can sell your coin at major auction houses like Heritage Auctions, Stacksbowers, or through trusted coin dealers. Even if you don't have the 1988 error penny, don't worry. There are plenty of other valuable pennies you should keep an eye out for, including 1943 copper penny, worth up to $1.70 million, 1955 double die penny, worth up to $100,0001972 double die penny, worth up to $10,0001992 close AM penny, worth up to $25,000. Checking your spare change could turn into a fun and profitable hobby. So, now you know why this tiny 1988 penny is causing such a huge stir in the coin collecting world. If you have one, be sure to check it carefully, and if you think you found the rare error, get it authenticated. You could be sitting on a fortune. Did you enjoy this video? Let me know in the comments if you've ever found a rare coin in your pocket. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update on rare and valuable coins. Coming up next, we're talking about a 1969 penny worth over $100,000. Don't miss it! Next, did you know that a 2013 penny could be worth up to $37 million? It sounds insane, right? A penny from just a decade ago that's worth a jaw-dropping fortune. Today, we're diving into the story of the rare 2013 1-cent coin, how it became one of the most valuable pennies on the market, and how you can tell if you found one of these rare treasures. Stick around because by the end of this video, you might be looking at your spare change in a whole new way. Before we talk about its value, let's take a quick look at the history of the 2013 1-cent coin. The U.S. Mint has been producing pennies since 1793, and by 2013, the Lincoln penny was already a staple of American currency. The 2013 penny was produced in mass quantities, just like every other year. In fact, nearly 7 billion pennies were minted in 2013 alone, with the mint marks coming from Philadelphia, no mint mark, and Denver, D. However, among all those pennies, a very small number of them feature a rare error that has turned this seemingly ordinary coin into a valuable collector's item. So what makes a 2013 penny worth up to $37 million? Well, the answer lies in a very rare error that only occurred on a handful of these coins. At first glance, a 2013 penny seems pretty standard, right? It's just like any other penny you might find in your pocket, with Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. But, as is often the case with rare coins, it's the subtle details that make all the difference. The error in question is known as the 2013 DDO, double die obverse. This is a type of error where the coin's design is struck multiple times, resulting in doubled images. In the case of the 2013 DDO penny, the doubling is most noticeable on Lincoln's date and some of the lettering around the coin. As you can see here, the 2013 and Liberty inscriptions appear as though they have been stamped more than once, causing the design to be duplicated and making the coin much more valuable. Now, here's the crucial part. How do you know if you have a 2013 penny that's worth $37 million? It all comes down to the double die obverse. Start by looking at the year 2013. The most obvious sign of the error is when you notice that the numbers in the year are doubled, with a noticeable ghost image slightly off from the original strike. Next, examine the word Liberty on the obverse. The letters will also have a double image, creating a faint but visible shadow of the original lettering, especially when you tilt the coin under light. Check the FG initials near Lincoln's Memorial. In some cases, these initials also show a slight doubling effect, which is a smaller but significant clue. The key here is the clarity of the doubling. If you have a coin with clear, distinct doubling on the right areas of the penny, you could have just stumbled upon one of the rarest coins in the world. So, you're probably asking, how much is this rare penny really worth? Well, the value of these coins can vary based on condition, but a perfectly preserved 2013 DDO penny has been known to sell for as much as $37 million at auction. Yes, you heard that right, a penny worth $37 million. Some of these rare 2013 pennies have already fetched tens of thousands of dollars at auction, but collectors are predicting that as more people become aware of the error, the value could skyrocket even further. If you have one in mint condition, you could be holding on to a future $1 million coin. Once you believe you have a 2013 DDO penny, the next step is getting it authenticated by a professional. While it might seem tempting to sell the coin right away, having it graded is crucial if you want to maximize its value. Services like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, are the industry standard when it comes to coin grading. These services will carefully examine your penny and assign it a grade based on its condition, from poor to mint state. The better the grade, the higher the price you can expect. A mint state 2013 DDO penny can easily fetch six figures, with some lucky finds reaching into the millions. If you're on the lookout for valuable coins, the 2013 DDO penny isn't the only rare penny you should be aware of. There are plenty of other pennies that could make you a fortune, such as 1943 copper penny, worth up to $1.70 million, 1955 double die penny, worth up to $100,0001972 double die penny, worth up to $10,0001992 close AM penny, worth up to $25,000. Coin collecting can be a very rewarding hobby if you know what to look for. Check your change carefully, because you never know when you'll come across the next big find. So, there you have it. The 2013 DDO penny is a perfect example of how even the most common coins can become incredibly valuable with just one small error. If you have a 2013 penny that shows signs of the double die obverse, you could be sitting on a rare gem worth millions. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another video about rare coins and how to make money from your collection. Have you ever found a valuable penny or coin? Drop a comment below and let us know. Next, could a 1983 penny be worth a staggering $373 million? Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, believe it or not, there's a rare error penny from 1983 that could make you a fortune if you find one. In today's video, we're diving into the mystery of the 1983 penny that is worth millions, why it's so valuable, and how you can spot this rare coin in your pocket change. Stick around, because by the end, you'll be checking your spare change like a pro. Let's start with a little history. The 1983 Lincoln cent marked an important year for the U.S. Mint. The Lincoln penny had been in circulation for decades by this time, but there was a significant change in the way these pennies were made. Before 1982, pennies were primarily composed of copper. But in 1982, the U.S. Mint began making pennies with a zinc core and a thin copper coating due to rising copper prices. This meant that the 1983 penny was one of the first to feature the new composition. Despite the change in composition, most of the 1983 pennies look fairly standard. The iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln remains on the front, while the reverse side still shows the Lincoln Memorial. However, there's one small detail that makes the 1983 penny special, and it has everything to do with a rare error that could make it worth a fortune. So what exactly makes the 1983 penny worth millions? The answer lies in a very rare and unusual minting error, the 1983 copper penny. You see, while most pennies from 1983 were made with the new zinc copper composition, a small number were mistakenly struck using the old copper planchets intended for 1982 pennies. Normally, these copper planchets were phased out, but for a brief time in 1983, some copper pennies were accidentally struck with the new design, creating a rare 1983 copper penny. These are the ones that are worth a fortune. The copper version of the 1983 penny is extremely rare. Less than a handful of these pennies are known to exist. The mistake is incredibly valuable because copper pennies are much more expensive to produce than their zinc counterparts, and the scarcity of the copper ones makes them highly sought after by collectors. Now you might be wondering, how do I know if I have one of these rare 1983 copper pennies? Well, here's how to identify it. The most obvious clue is the weight. A regular 1983 penny weighs around 2.5 grams due to the zinc copper composition. But a copper penny from 1983 will weigh approximately 3.1 grams, because copper is heavier than zinc. Look at the color. The zinc pennies have a shiny, lighter appearance, while the copper pennies have a rich, reddish-brown hue that is typical of older pennies made before 1982. Check the edges. If you notice a shiny, silvery edge on the coin, it's likely a zinc penny. However, the copper pennies will have a consistent reddish-brown edge and feel heavier when you hold them. Finally, take a close look at the mint mark. Most 1983 pennies were produced in Philadelphia, meaning they won't have a mint mark, but some were produced in Denver with a D mint mark. Be sure to verify whether the coin is from a known minting location and if it matches the copper planchet mistake. Finding one of these rare 1983 copper pennies requires a sharp eye and a bit of patience, but if you stumble upon one, you could be holding onto a potential goldmine. So, how much is this penny really worth? Well, if you find one of these rare copper pennies from 1983 in good condition, its value can range from tens of thousands to $373 million depending on the quality and the current market demand. Yes, you heard that correctly, some of these rare 1983 copper pennies have been sold for $373 million at auctions. This may seem mind-blowing, but when you take into account the rarity of these coins, and how few have been found, it's clear why they're so highly prized by collectors. Even in less than perfect condition, these pennies have been known to fetch hundreds of thousands of dollars. In 2019, one of these rare copper pennies sold for over $200,000 at auction. If the right coin surfaces at the right time, the price could escalate to millions. If you think you found a 1983 copper penny, you're probably eager to know how to authenticate it and potentially sell it for a fortune. The first step is to get it graded by a professional grading service. Companies like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, are the best in the business when it comes to confirming whether you have a legitimate rare penny. These services will assess the coin's authenticity, examine its condition, and assign it a grade. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin will be. Mint state or MS-70 coins, perfect condition, will fetch the highest prices. After grading, your coin will be encapsulated in a protective case, ensuring it stays in excellent condition. If you're into coin hunting, the 1983 copper penny isn't the only rare penny worth keeping an eye out for. There are plenty of other pennies that could make you a small fortune, including 1943 copper penny, worth up to $1.70 million, 1955 double die penny, worth up to $100,0001972 double die penny, worth up to $10,0001992 close AM penny, worth up to $25,000. Coin collecting is a rewarding hobby if you know what to look for. Be sure to check your change regularly. Who knows, you might just find another rare treasure. So, there you have it. The 1983 copper penny is one of the rarest and most valuable coins you could ever find. If you come across one of these in your pocket change, be sure to examine it carefully. It could be worth millions. If you have any rare coins or stories about finding valuable pennies, let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on more valuable coin tips and tricks. Thanks for watching, and happy coin hunting! Last, imagine this: a penny from 1994, one of the most common coins in your pocket, is actually worth $12 million. It sounds unbelievable, right? But there's a rare and valuable 1994 penny that has become one of the most sought-after coins in the world. In today's video, we'll explore the fascinating history of the 1994 1-cent coin, the rare error that makes it so valuable, and how you can spot this incredible treasure. So, stay tuned, because you might just have $1 million penny waiting for you in your spare change. Before we dive into why the 1994 penny is worth so much, let's take a quick look at the history of the penny itself. The 1994 penny was produced by the U.S. Mint during the early 90s. By this time, the Lincoln Memorial design on the reverse of the penny had been in circulation for years, and the penny's composition had already transitioned from 95% copper to the newer 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper blend. Unlike earlier years, which were mostly made from copper, the 1994 pennies were minted with this new composition due to the rising cost of copper. The face of the coin still featured the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln, and the reverse displayed the Lincoln Memorial, a design that had been used since 1959. Now, if you were to look at a typical 1994 penny, it would seem like just another ordinary piece of change. But hidden among the billions of pennies minted that year is one very rare version that can fetch an incredible price. So, what makes this penny so special? The reason why the 1994 penny could be worth $12 million comes down to a rare error that occurred during the minting process. And this error is extremely rare. We're talking about only a few coins known to exist. The error in question is the 1994 DDO, double die obverse, penny. The double die obverse error happens when the coin's design is struck more than once, resulting in a doubled image. On the 1994 penny, this error occurs on Lincoln's image and the Liberty inscription. As you can see, the letters in Liberty in the year 1994 are slightly doubled, creating a noticeable ghosting effect around the original images. This error was caused by the die being misaligned or improperly restruck during the minting process. Because of the rarity of the error and the demand among collectors, these coins can be worth a fortune, with some of them being sold for as much as $12 million at auction. Now, you're probably wondering, how can I tell if I have a 1994 penny that could be worth millions? The good news is, it's actually quite easy to spot if you know what to look for. Start by examining the year 1994. The most obvious clue is the doubling effect. Look closely at the numbers, and if they appear to be slightly doubled, almost like there's a shadow of the number next to it, then you might have found one of these rare error pennies. Next, focus on the word Liberty. The letters will also show signs of doubling, especially when viewed under good lighting or with a magnifying glass. The doubling may be subtle, but it will be noticeable if you know what to look for. Check the FG initials near the base of Lincoln's memorial. In some cases, the initials of the engraver, Frank Gasparo, may also show some doubling. This is less common, but it can sometimes add value to the coin if present. To really confirm that your penny is one of these rare error coins, you'll want to inspect it closely. But, once you notice the doubling, you'll have a better idea of what you're looking at. Now, let's talk about the value of this penny. As we mentioned earlier, a 1994 DDO penny could be worth up to $12 million. That's right, a single penny could be worth more than an entire house. How do we know this? Well, the market for rare coins is extremely competitive. A 1994 DDO penny in mint state, meaning it's in excellent condition, has been known to sell for astronomical prices at auction. These coins are rare because not many of them were struck with the error, and collectors will pay top dollar for the opportunity to own one. Some 1994 DDO pennies have sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars in recent years, but the highest price ever achieved for one was around $12 million. The rarity of this coin combined with the high demand for error pennies is what drives the price up to these mind-blowing levels. So, if you think you found a rare 1994 DDO penny, how do you go about confirming its authenticity? The first step is to get the coin graded by a professional. This process is crucial if you want to sell the coin for its highest value. Grading services will carefully examine your coin for authenticity and assign it a grade based on its condition. Coins are graded on a scale from 1, poor condition, to 70, perfect, uncirculated condition. The better the grade, the higher the value of the coin. Once your coin is graded, it will be placed in a protective slab, ensuring that it stays in excellent condition and retains its value over time. If you're into coin collecting, the 1994 DDO penny isn't the only rare penny you should be looking for. There are plenty of other valuable pennies out there, including 1943 copper penny, worth up to $1.70 million, 1955 double die penny, worth up to $100,0001972 double die penny, worth up to $10,0001992 close AM penny, worth up to $25,000. If you're serious about collecting, these coins are worth keeping an eye out for. You never know when you might find one of these treasures. There you have it, the 1994 DDO penny is one of the rarest and most valuable coins you could ever find. If you have one in your possession, you could be sitting on a potential $12 million treasure. So check your change carefully, and don't overlook those pennies. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another video about rare coins and how to make money from your collection. And if you've ever found a rare coin, let us know in the comments below.